Hello, what is up guys? I'm your host Gordon and welcome to another one of my video. What I got over here is the Dartzone Omnia Pro Gen2. Yes, I know I'm a little late with this blaster. As I said, this is a Gen 2 because the first Omnia Pro that I received is a Gen 1, which is notorious for its problem. And kudos to Dartzone to immediately reacted and send me a Gen 2 version as a replacement. And right now, I got the Omnia Gen 2. Only way to differentiate a Gen 1 and a Gen 2 is the performance number on this boxes over here. Like the Gen 1, you will get like a 125 feet per second. If you get a Gen 2 version, 150 feet per second written on the box. Since I got the Gen 1 in the studio, I will be doing a comparison between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 pretty soon. Let me know in the comment section if you are interested with the video though. In the box, we got the blaster itself, some darts and a charger, safety goggle, 2 magazine, a battery, and a pair of iron sights. Okay, first look at the blaster. As you can see, the aesthetic of the blaster is actually pretty similar with the Mark III over here without the additional barrel length. And of course, it is a lot thinner than the Mark III behind me over here. And in terms of the color scheme, it is a combination of white, red, and a little bit of gray over here. It is a very retro-ish combination of a color over here. And of course, the entire color scheme is also based on the outlaw over here. As you can see, it is also red and white. And of course, this pair makes it very perfectly as your sidearm and your main blaster over here. In terms of build quality, the entire blaster is made out of ABS plastic. I would say this is more of a higher quality plastic. As you can see, it is way thicker and less plastic squeaks. The buttstock of the blaster is a adjustable buttstock. As you can see, it can go pretty far. Shouldering the buttstock, I would say it is okay, pretty comfortable. Just that there is one thing that I'm not satisfied with the buttstock. As you can see, it is pretty wiggly over here, which is, you know, not my kind of thing. Now, will it collapse if I put weights on it? Okay, it kind of holds on pretty well. As Dartzone, as always, as you can see, this is a buffer tube style, which means that you can put in any kinds of buffer tube type accessories. And speaking about the buffer tube over here, this entire buffer tube attachment system over here is an end strike attachment system, which means that you can put in any end strike accessories to make it more, you know, cool looking, tactically cool. Oh yeah, by the way, there is also a sling mounting point at the buttstock over here, and there is another sling mounting point at the middle over here, just in case if you want to mount it at the middle. Speaking about the middle, you only get a top rail for your accessory of choice. There is no additional space for you to like attach like a side Picatinny rail or something like that, because as you can see, there is vent over here for the motor ventilation. And of course, at the front over here, there is no barrel in there. It's just flywheel and the exit hole. Oh yeah, by the way, this over here is another sling mounting point at the very front of the blaster. Very funny. Who on earth are going to like hang their blaster like that though? Okay, since this blaster is a flywheel based blaster over here, as you can see, the revving trigger is located, of course, at the grip of the blaster. The grip of the blaster, very standard AR size grip, I would say. I'm a big fan of this revving trigger over here. As you can see, the revving trigger is pretty huge. And the good thing about this revving trigger, you don't really have to press on like the huge plastic part to rev the blaster. You can just put on pressure on the very top of the revving trigger over here, and it will just rev the blaster. In my opinion, it is very comfortable to rev. And speaking about comfortable, there is a mag release switch over here. Since it is located at the middle, it is ambidextrous, but there is a but over here. At first, I thought pushing it to the front will release the magazine over here, but the entire mechanism requires you to actually push it downwards in order to release the mag over here. Take a look at this. When you're in the middle of the game, you try to like bump this trigger over here with the hopes of dropping the mag, you realize that the mag is still intact. So in my opinion, it is kind of inconvenient that you actually have to put your finger in the front and push it downwards, and I mean you have to put in a lot of force in there to drop the mag over here. Oh, by the way, this is a 15 round magazine. You got 2 of these. Of course, these are worker compatible. The trigger pull of the blaster, very comfortable. And speaking about firing this blaster, the blaster comes with 3 firing mode. Of course, we got the single fire, the 3 round burst fire, as well as full auto. Yes, there is a 3 round burst fire, but firing this blaster comes with a little bit of a hiccup. It's not that this blaster jams or whatsoever, just that the reaction time of the trigger pull is a little slow. I mean, take a look at it. When you pull the trigger, there is like a 0.5 second of a delay, I would say. And when you try to do the 3 round burst, the delay is even longer. But don't worry about that, we got a quick fix for this. In order to fix the problem, just switch it to a 11.1 volt 3S Lipo battery. And speaking about the battery, the blaster comes with a 7.4 volts Li-ion battery, which is a great thing because I know certain people are very uncomfortable in handling Lipo batteries. And speaking about the batteries, at first when I unboxed the blaster, I do not found the battery. I thought that they actually missed out the battery or something, but the battery is actually hidden in the battery compartment. And of course, the blaster is running a sweet XT30 connector. By the way, let us do a quick demo and comparison of the 7.4 and the 11.1. So this is a 7.4 single fire. This is a 3S Lipo single fire. This is a 7.4 3-round burst. And this is a 7.4 3-round burst. The reaction time is slightly better and the rate of fire is of course way higher than a 7.4. Some full auto goodness. Oh yeah, that's way better. No worry guys, I will be comparing the 7.4 firing rate as well as the 11.1 3S Lipo firing rate at the firing demo later. And of course, without further ado, let us go test the blaster out. Okay, we are back guys. So the performance of the blaster is pretty surprising in a very interesting way. So with a 7.4 volt battery, the blaster as advertised is able to go from 147 FPS all the way to 157 FPS. For a flywheel blaster, this is a pretty good performance out of the box. And in terms of accuracy, surprisingly enough, for a flywheel blaster, hitting a target in 10 meters, it is surprisingly accurate. And if we actually use a 11.1 volt 3S Lipo, the blaster can go from 151 FPS all the way to 155 FPS. Surprisingly enough, despite having a more aggressive revving, there is actually not too much of a performance gain by changing a 3S Lipo. The only thing that you are getting is a much more stable 150 FPS performance. And of course, hitting a target in 10 meters is not a problem at all. And not forget a faster firing rate as compared to the 7.4. And of course, operating this blaster, I did not encounter any jams, which is a great thing. Sure enough, I will not be using the 3-round burst because I don't see a point using it. I will be either using a full auto for suppressed fire or the semi-auto. And of course, will this blaster passes the wall test? It looks incredibly nice on the wall. Of course, it passes the wall test. I mean, overall, I do not have a lot of complaint with this blaster. In fact, I'm starting to like this blaster. If I really want to nitpick a couple of complaints, probably the wobbly buttstock over here. And of course, the not so useful 3-round burst fire. The rest of the mode, semi-auto, full auto, when you swap it to a 11.1 volt battery, everything just works. The mag release trigger over here might need a little bit of time to get used to it. But again, overall, I'm enjoying this blaster over here. If this blaster is available in Malaysia, I will notify you guys and pin a comment in the comment section down below. So do feel free to come and visit and check out the comment section. And of course, before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Yadios, guys!